Nice to have you all along today. So I look after the support team at ScoreApp, and we help people get their scorecards set up, and we help them to make the most of their scorecards and get them performing the best that they can be. I've got my colleague Sarah, who's part of the support team as well. So we can help you sort of in terms of any technical help that you need, or any sort of just best practice and implementation questions as well. Today, we're obviously going to focus on how you go about setting up your scorecard and getting the best from it. Please feel free to ask questions as we go along, so we can get stuck in. And if you've got your scorecard name ready and you can pop it in the chat, then we can always take a look at your scorecard as well and bring it up on the screen if you don't mind. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen. And we're just going to come to the sections that we're going to cover today. So the very first section that we're going to cover is the concept. So before you start doing anything on the platform, obviously we need to have a concept for your scorecard. Now the concept we recommend is aligned with that common goal, so that your target audience want to achieve. And then it's of mutual and true value, because anyone taking the scorecard, it's going to help them to discover where they are against that goal, and what they need to do to focus on to actually get to achieve that goal. So it's useful and valuable for your target customer, and obviously in exchange you will also benefit from getting that data-rich lead. So here we go. The concept is the idea of your scorecard. So this is one of our customers, Karen Dyer. Her scorecard is all about helping people with MS. And once you have your concept, we really need to work on that headline. So it really hooks people and clearly communicates what it is, who it's for. So are you ready to have success with MS quiz? And Karen's doing really, really well with this scorecard currently. So as I mentioned, the scorecard concept is aligned with a common goal. So some good examples would be the key person of influence scorecard. So I'm sure lots of you may have come across through Daniel Priestley at Dent. He's an entrepreneur. He runs a program, and he has a key person of influence scorecard that sits with that program. Other ideas such as high performing team scorecard, the Are You Beach Ready scorecard, and the Good Parenting scorecard. So they're all sort of clear in what they're going to do to help you achieve your goal. It could also be based on a pain or frustration, such as, avoid being hacked, avoid gaining weight, avoid burnout. So these are good concepts as well. Has anybody got any questions on concepts? Anyone, struggling with their concept, please feel free to put it in the chat or put your hand up, and we can help you with any ideas. It may be that you've already got to that part of it, in which case we will skip to the next section, which is your landing page. So I'm just going to come to the platform now. So this is the platform here. Now, when you come to create your scorecard, you can either choose a template or start from scratch. So if there's a template there which closely aligns with your concept, then you could absolutely go for that, and I can show you how to customize it and tweak it to make it customizable to you. Even if you're starting from scratch, everything I'm going to go through is going to apply in that case as well. So once you've chosen which way, whether you're going to start from scratch or a template, we need to come to the icon of the pencil and ruler. So this is where we will create all of the items that we need to. I'm going to start on the landing page today, and I'm just going to bring back up my slides, because the landing page is actually super important. Once you've driven all the traffic to your scorecard, it needs to clearly communicate what it is, who it's for, and what's the benefits, what's the value in it for them. So our best practice is to recommend being sales focused at this stage, and it's all about the value in taking the scorecard and how it's going to help them. So clear, credible, and interesting copy, stating things like how long it's going to take them so they know how much time they need to invest in it, and being clear on the benefits of taking the scorecard. And it may be that, that is to grow your profits or to live a fulfilled life, but really, what is that ultimate prize at the end? We want to make sure that all the branding flows throughout the whole entire scorecard. It's a really good idea to have a little bit of information about yourself. Again, not from a sales focus, but from this is who we are, and this is why we've created the scorecard, and this is our expertise, so that people start to associate it and know that it's come from a credible source. Testimonials can be another nice thing to include on your landing page, and again, linked to the scorecard. So I took this scorecard and it gave me the clarity I needed to take that next step and really get to, achieve what I wanted to. If you've got anything, a bonus for taking the scorecard, that can work really nicely. So, if you've got a book, we have lots of scorecards where they've created a book and you could, give away the book in return for taking the scorecard, or as part of the book at least. Tickets to an event, putting them into a Facebook group, anything like that, just to make them aware of it on the landing page can be a really nice incentive. And then the CTA on the landing page is to take the scorecard. So now I just wanted to jump back to the platform so we can look at how we're going to build this landing page. So you will, when you come to your account, you will have a default landing page in your list. Now you can either use that and start to edit it, or you could go to create landing page up here. So the create landing page, there may be a template that will give you a structure to be able to get started, in which case you could pick that up, or alternatively, you can start without a template. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. It will open up as a completely blank page here, but you've got an add a section, and then you can view all of the different section styles. So we've got a number of different main banners that you could select from. So once you've chosen the one that you think would work for you, you add that section. It will then open up all the different formatting options. So you can change the title, the copy, the colors, the images, and you can select that image from your files, or you can search free images. We also, if you click on the funnel here, you can switch and you can also search icons as well, which is quite a nice thing to do. So once you've added all the sections, it may be that, for example, you want to pick up your categories next. And then you're most certainly going to want to finish with a call to action, as well as having them sort of throughout the content sections. So just to show you, I've put in 3 sections here, and you can move sections around by clicking on the 6 grey dots and dragging and dropping them into position. So if you have added a new landing page and you'd like to feature that one with your scorecard, you would need to publish it and make it default. Because then if we save this here, this will be the one that's connected with your scorecard. So you could have lots of different versions in the list, but it's the one that's published and made default that will be connected. You can also click on this little square box with the arrow pointing out, which will launch it, and then you can take it, view it in real life, and test it as well. So that is the main elements of building a landing page. There are options if you want to embed the form code directly into your own landing page. That's also an option. We've got some instructions that would enable you to do that. Otherwise, it would just be the URL that you would take and sit on your website behind a link or a button, for example, however you wanted to feature it on your website. So now we've just gone through some technical bits and some best practice. Is there anyone that would like to me to open up their scorecard, share it on screen, and just go through it? Great, Sophie, could you pop your scorecard name or your link into the chat box? Lovely, thank you very much. Okay, so it says it can't be reached, but let's just see if I can find it here. Discover your core competence. Okay, lovely. Discover your core confidence. Yay, got it. Brilliant. All right, so let's have a look at this landing page here. Yeah. Okay, so I think that error was just because you were in draft mode, perhaps. So we've gone through it this way. So this looks really nice. We've got the logo up here. Discover what is blocking you from your success. Answer 30 questions. We'll send you a personalized report with your results of your core confidence saboteurs. It's quick and it's free. Discover what is blocking you from your success. Okay, so what I like to do in the headline is I like to highlight that they're going to discover their score because people love to receive a score. It gives them something tangible that they can work on. So we could say discover, it would need to be, we'd need to think of something. Are you ready to discover what is blocking you from your success? You know, take the core confidence saboteur quiz, assessment, scorecard, whatever you want to take it, you know, and discover more. So something like that might work quite nicely as well. Our core competence are behaviors that will once there protect us. The protective. So I like this. I like it when we describe the situation and the concept, because therefore it's going to help people to think, yeah, resonate with it. Actually, this is you know, useful, and I, you know, resonate with it, and I want to go further. So that's good. By taking the quiz, so the unfulfilled achiever, the Wonder Woman, the nice girl, the runner. So that's quite nice, and it makes it, this one as well, I think using those characters is quite nice because it makes it have a bit of a fun element to it, which I like as well. So we do need, I think we need a little bit more on here in terms of another call to action down below that would say, yeah, take the test, you're ready. And maybe some of those elements like the information about you and your expertise that have led you to create this scorecard. Testimonials, if you can add them, or they could come later. And I think it's coming back to that sort of prize at the end. So really, like, when I find out, you know, what is it going to enable me to do? So if you want to do this, do this, do this, you know, all of that packaged up together would work really nicely. And actually, if I look at your landing page here as well, there's just a couple of design and formatting things I wanted to show you. So it doesn't work with all logos, but for example, this logo section, you can choose to position it inside the first section, should you wish to. So I'll put it back at the top for now. So that could be quite nice. And also on this particular section, you can apply some shading to the picture, which will make the text stand out a bit more. And it may be, you know, this bit of content here, we need to make that a little bit bigger as well, just to make it clearer. But yeah, great start. So well done. Thank you for sharing. Do you want me to save that? So with the background shading, yeah, lovely. Okay, so anybody else want to share there? Yes, we've got Jim. Let me just, I've lost you, Jim. Where are we? Here we go, lovely. So hi, Jim. Let the wellness story uncover your optimal health and performance. So again, like the score, just having the score in the headline can help uncover your optimal health and performance score. And I'd be like, yeah, I want to see how healthy I am. Answer 20 questions and we'll send you a personalized report. It's quick and it's free. So yeah, nice banner, text nice and clear. Linking it to a score would be good there. And then we've got a how it works section, which is nice. I like to have a how it works section. We know how many questions we've got, and we know that it's going to help us to improve our health and performance. So that's a little bit about the prize as well. Career. Yeah, so I really like that. It's described the background, you know, who it's going to be suitable for, the categories that you're going to get a score against. That's really nice. I like that. And then we've gone into each one. Sometimes, you know, you don't need to put all of that content on there. It can be sort of too much. I think knowing that we're going to get a score against mindset, nutrition, movement, and sleep is enough in itself, perhaps with a brief description. We've got another call to action. Again, telling us the time. So this is all really, really nice. I would put in a little bit more about yourself again, just to introduce yourself. Testimonials. So incentives wise for taking the scorecard, if you've got anything that you can put on there as a bonus feature, that can help as well. But yeah, I really like that. So thank you for sharing, Jim. If there's any other questions, please feel free to unmute and jump in. Okay, so guys, I'm going to go through sort of one more landing page before we get into the questions. So I'm just going to bring up the next one in the list. So what's your data protection score? So this audit's a light touch of technical, 2 to 3 minutes, how it works. Okay, so I think as a main banner, I think just making it sort of, I think it's going to be a design kind of focus here, just to make it sort of really visually enticing. What's your data protection score? So that's that's a strong headline. I think it's just, I wonder if it could be clearer who it's for. So I'm just going to, this audit a light touch assessment of the technical by a data controller to demonstrate compliance, applicable data, including the UK GDPR. So I think the subheading could be like, what's your data protection score? Are you a data controller? You know, do you want to check that you're being compliant with GDPR? Take this quiz, you know, X number of questions, few minutes, a nice visual, bit more bright, impactful colors. And I think that would be my sort of recommendation there. I think the form underneath here, you know, it may be better that you just have it, the call to action button, as opposed to the form, which then pops up the form. That would be my recommendation. How it works: take the audit to reveal your score, 16 targeted questions. So I think I'd want to know, maybe hear a little bit about, you know, GDPR, you know, why it's important to be compliant, you know, how it can be, the implications of not being compliant, you know, and that you're going to go through this checklist, which is going to give you an indication if you could strengthen your position. So I think that needs a little bit more content around it, would be my advice. Or you have done that actually. Why is understanding your score teaches me I should read it in full before. Compliance with the UK, demonstrate your customers, maximise. So yeah, I think you've got that there. So maybe just a little bit more sort of connection up in this section here. Are you ready to work smarter, not harder? So it's a good concept. I think it's just making that landing page, working on the visuals and just tightening up the benefits and the prize. You've got all of those. If there's any incentives, again, a little bit about who you are as a company, that's all going to help strengthen that landing page a little bit further. Okay, thank you, everyone. So let's just go back to, I'm just going to move, a section up here. And we want to go now and just look at the questions. Now, the questions are like the key ingredients. So once you've got your concept, you've got your headline, the categories are like key ingredients to help you achieve that goal. So if you were, for example, a fitness instructor, your categories could be exercise, nutrition, and sleep. And by using categories, it allows you to give a score and dynamic feedback against those, as well as the overall score as well. So you don't have to use categories. If you just want to keep it simple and give people an overall score, then that's absolutely fine. But categories can be really useful for helping someone to see where their strengths and weaknesses are. So for example, in this case, actually, do you know what? I'm doing okay with my exercise, but my nutrition could do with some work. And that's where it can deliver lots of value. So if you're using categories, you could pop those in the platform, and then you need to put your questions to sit underneath each category. So we would recommend, if it's a cold lead scorecard, fewer questions. So the recommendation is around 8 to 15, going upwards, depending on whether you're targeting warm leads. And we also have scorecards that are used as onboarding and for clients as well. So then you could really up the questions that you'd like to ask as well. So don't feel like really defined by these questions, because I think it does, or number of questions, it does need to be balanced with giving people a credible score. So if you feel like actually you just need to ask a few more questions to really qualify where someone's at, then please feel free to do so. Just be mindful of the user experience, how long it's going to take them to flow through the questions. We have got so on the question front, we have got, so great questions are simple to answer. So something that no one has to go away and check. It's not like you're asking someone what their mobile phone bill was 3 months ago. We want it to be something that they know without checking. Yes, no is a great question format to use. And it relates to a simple facts as well. Anything too simple and too complex, we would recommend sort of avoiding. And if I show you how this all works on the platform, so you can see here, this is where you would, oh, Sophie, this is yours. Let's go back to my one. So you can see I've got 3 categories added. And then once I've added those, I go to my questions. I think it helps to change the view to this one here. And then you can add your question to each of the categories. So when you go to add question, you've got a number of formats: yes, no, maybe, sliding scale, multiple choice. If you want people to be able to pick more than one answer, it's the multiple choice checkbox that you need to use. But otherwise, if you go for multiple choice buttons, they can click straight on the button and go to the next question. In terms of scoring, if you go for something like yes, no questions, you would generally just achieve a point for the positive answer. So do you sleep more than 8 hours? Yes, you've scored a point. No, you don't score anything. If it's multiple choice, you might have I disagree. Do you feel healthy? Disagree, well, they don't score any points. Slightly agree 1, strongly agree 2. So it kind of goes up in the strength of their answer. If you're using scales, you can make that scale however big you'd like it to be, and that will assign the amount of points. So a 0 to 10 scale would mean there's 10 points available, and wherever the user places themselves on that scale is how many points they've achieved. Then it will add up the total amount of points possible overall and per category. So say in exercise we had 10 points available and the user scored 5, it converts that to a percentage. So it says, right, they've scored 50%, and they decide what score tier they fall into based on the percentage ranges entered here. So these are default settings. It's like 100% split into thirds. The traffic light system is what the majority of our scorecards use, but you can change the colors, so please feel free to do so. You can change the label name, so you could have a needs focus, your high risk of burnout, for example. So there's lots of different labels, and you can add tiers as well. Anyone got any particular questions on the questions? That's always funny, isn't it, to say that? Okay, right. So what we will do is now we're going to move on to the results element of it, because actually now we've explained how the scoring works, it flows quite nicely into the results. So the first part of the result is going to be the results page. So if you're on our starter package, this is the output that the person taking the scorecard gets. And it's going to give them their score, and it's going to give them, hopefully, some information on how they can improve their score, and an acknowledgement of where they are currently. So you will have a way of presenting that overall score. You could go to add a section at the bottom, and it may be that you just want to use percentage, or if you've got categories, like that donut chart works quite nicely. We've got a spider diagram, and we've got this speedometer as well. So choose the way that you'd like to display the results. And then if you click on it, you will see a little toggle where you can slide it on that says enable dynamic content. And that will open up your score tiers. So you can plug in different versions of content based on which score tier they fell into. They all sit there in the back end, and it just pulls in the content based on their score. So in this particular overall score section, you might want to just acknowledge their score. So just say, congratulations, thank you for completing it. Your score shows that, you need a little bit of work. This is what we recommend. If you're using categories, please refer to your categories below, and see which one it is that you could start to focus on. Then we would like to add a category score section if you're using it as well. So again, if you go to add a section, there are different ways you could present those categories. So 3 different ways. This one suits if you're adding a little bit more content. This one can suit it when you're more of a summary. So just see which one you like. And then you can see, if we click on the actual section type, we've got all of our categories there. We've got that little toggle. So we can also enter dynamic content for each category as well. So once you've got that information in, again, I would recommend, acknowledging their score for each dynamic category, describing the category, why it's important, and then maybe giving them something to take away that they could start to implement to help them in that area if they need help in that area. So once you've got all that in, then it's time to add your call to action. So the call to action, it could be a number of things, and you might have your own completely. But what we see a lot of is, booking a call, scheduling a call, links to a Facebook community or some sort of community, taking them, there could be a variety of sort of call to actions. We've got a number of different call to action sections. So you could sit 2 side by side, or this one is quite nice if it's the discovery session that you're going to offer. But the results page is really your chance to showcase, what you can do to help them. You want to give them some light bulb moments that they start to sort of associate you with, like, oh, that was really great advice actually, and leaves them wanting more. You can add other sections to this results page. It may be that now you want to put your testimonials in, about how your company's helped other people. It may be that you want to put some more sort of content about what you offer. So yeah, that would just be add a section here. Once you have developed your results page, the ScoreApp platform will fire off an email with a link to it, which you can customize here. If you don't want it to come from the ScoreApp platform, you can turn it off, because it may be that you want it to come from your CRM, so that's an option. If you're on our advanced package, you might want to develop the PDF report. So you might make that results screen more of a snapshot and pop all the detail into that PDF report. And then you would link to the PDF report in the email. But both both options, your results page and the PDF, you can feature dynamic content and your call to actions. The PDF will just give you a greater sort of medium in which to put more content in. So yeah, that is the results page. Is there anybody that would like to share their results page with me?
Sorry, Leigh, could I just ask a question? We had some feedback. This is Jim Callahan, sharing the wellness story scorecard. We had some feedback where apparently you get the results right away as soon as you finish inputting the answers.
Yeah.
Then you get the email as well, and it's a bit confusing because you've already gotten the results, and then you get an email with the same results. Is it possible to either switch off the email or switch off the immediate results?
Yeah. So the benefit of emailing them is that they've got it to keep to and refer to, because if they were to click away from the results screen, it would be lost. So that's why it's quite nice to email them sort of a copy of it. And you could always make that clear, you know, in the summary section, you know, that these have been emailed to you, you know. But yeah, you can also send it off the email. So you just toggle off that button on the result email there.
But you can't switch off the immediate feedback from the report.
Have you got the PDF or is it the results page?
You just, so once you finished inputting the answers, you get the results right away in the app itself.
Yeah.
And is there a way of turning that off and just getting the email then with the results? Or
no, because we can't have multiple result pages at the moment. So you can create a results page that's just like thank you without any scores, but then we wouldn't be able to develop another one with their scores to email it to them. So it would be, so you could, you know, if you did have the package with the PDF, you could do that for the results page, just have a thank you screen, develop the PDF and then email that to them with all the detail and the scores in.
We don't have the PDF right now.
No.
Okay, no, that makes sense. Thanks.
Thank you.
No worries at all. Okay, so we've got a results page. So Peter, thank you for sharing. So it's the happy career. I wonder if it's in your name, Peter, because to view the results page without having to go through the scorecard, I'm just going to bring it up on the platform here. So just bear with me for a second. Yay, there we go. I'm guessing it's this one here. So let's have a look. The Happy Career Hub. Okay, so let's go and have a dive in at your results. So thank you for taking the getting paid what you're worth. Your results have been emailed to. You can do this. So this is probably going to be defaulted on your page. So if someone has entered their email address incorrectly, they can click on here and change it. These results will open your areas, the biggest areas of potential for growth, pay close attention to the areas you achieve the lowest scores. That's good. If your score is below where you'd like it to be, don't worry. So it is nice to use that kind of reassuring language. We definitely don't want anyone to feel, you know, hopeless after taking. We want them to feel sort of empowered with the knowledge that they can increase that score. So this bit is obviously static in your case, so it doesn't change based on their score. So if you did want to, you know, optimize it further, you could, you know, enter some customized content. So you could enable that and you could say, you know, your score shows that you would benefit from some focus, or, you know, you've achieved a moderate score, which means there's more for growth. So I would recommend that for the future. So then we dive into the categories. Your score is on the lower end, which you've done here, which is perfect. If the sales secondly, you've been in the same role. So this is lovely. So this is exactly what I like to see. So we've acknowledged it, we've described it, and we've given them something to think about as well. So there's lots of content in there. So we've got the scores. Yeah. And then we've got next steps. So congrats on taking the first step to changing your life. If you're saying you've had enough being stuck, so what's next? Let's get cleared. Don't take our word for it. So there's loads of content in there, and forgive me because I've skim read it, but is it like literally like where's that linking to would be one of the questions that I'd want to ask. So it's going to your website.
Yeah, it goes to.
Hi Peter, sorry, I missed that bit.
It goes to the course. There's a dynamic PDF that we mail out, which has got a lot more detail. And this goes to a course that we say on how to negotiate your salary you want, perks you want. So we're using it as a sales as a lead. Okay.
Is it like will it be a free course or a chargeable course?
Chargeable class.
Chargeable class. Okay. I think just I'd like a little bit more information about where that's taking to me sort of in this bit.
Okay.
I think that would be sort of helpful. Also as well, because a successful scorecard is the journey from driving traffic to your scorecard. So you have to get all the promotional elements in place, delivering a great value scorecard, and then your follow-up sequences after as well. And it may be that, there are several interactions before they're ready to go into, that step. So maybe if there was like a free webinar that you could take them to initially, so they see you there, and then they might receive something else from you. So they see you there, and then they start to build that relationship with you. That can work quite nicely as well.
Okay, thank you. No, that's a really good point.
Excellent, good. But yeah, great job. Loads of great content on there. So well done.
Okay, thank you.
No problem at all. So guys, I'm just conscious that the time is ticking. So I just want to finish off by going through the promotion side of things and then answering any specific questions that you have. So I'm just going to come back to my slides just to cover the promotional aspects of it. So we've got a great document, which Sarah, if you don't mind popping in the chat, it's called 29 different ways to promote your scorecard. And it really does have some great ideas in there and everything that you will need. But the very essential ones, obviously have it on your website. If you've got a website, not everybody does. You can have it, basically anything that leaves your office. You could have it as your email signature. I know we don't really do business cards anymore, but everything, a link to the scorecard, email campaigns, direct messages, sharing it on all your social media profiles and posts. And it doesn't need to be necessarily the post about the scorecard. It could be a post about something else with a, don't forget, take the scorecard. So it's almost like the call to action for other posts as well. You can, include it on all your profile information. If you ever do any podcasts, blogs, videos, then linking to the scorecard at the end is a great thing to do. And events and workshops, if you're sort of, for example, you've got on a stand at an event, you could get people over, take the scorecard, be entered into a draw. It works quite nicely in that way. You've got lots of organic methods, and you've also got then the paid for advertising route in addition. And then the final item is going down the joint venture partnership. So have you got anyone where you can sort of build a relationship to leverage their list, in exchange for something beneficial to them as well? So the next slide is just a way that someone's here. You can see it's been included on their website. This is their Instagram. They've got the link to the scorecard in their profile information. They're running ads. You've got your post working as well. So all of those items sort of working together. And I just would say that it sort of, once you get it working, it's that sort of continual, keep going with it. So, making sure that it's consistently driving traffic to the scorecard as well. Yes, and very finally, before I hand over to you guys for questions, we do have a referral program. So if under your account and referrals, you do have a unique link. So please do feel free. We'd love it if you wanted to share it with anyone that you think it would benefit. And then we do have a good sort of referral program where you could earn up to 22% of what they spend for up to 12 months. So let me stop share and then invite anyone to ask any questions. Anything at all. If it's anything I haven't covered, like the PDF, technical things, please feel free to go for it. Just, if you just want to unmute and go for it.
Hi, I posted a question that maybe you answered during this session. The banner on the landing page that I used is because a template was there ready and the sign up form was already on the banner.
Okay.
Having a button. So I'm wondering, and I was thinking even myself, but I'm wondering whether it's better not to have, just to have a button that then a pop-up if people want to go at the first time, because just when they land there and they see a form, people might just bounce back because they don't want to. Once they see you on their email and their name, they're just like, okay, I'm off.
Yeah, I think definitely that's a way of looking at it, from that perspective. If you've just come to a page and you see that sign up form before you've read it and been convinced of the value, then it may be better to have it as a pop-up form. Push the button and the form pops up rather than it be the first thing that you're necessarily greeted with, especially if it's cold traffic.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Are you happy with how you changed the banner type?
Yeah, no, I've got my way around it. And when I was looking then to add another section, I realized most of the banners actually don't have the form on there, but there was one or two that had the form, and the template, which was suitable for my sort of, I think was done purposely for kind of accountancy and finance. I used that. I just changed other things around. Then I thought maybe I should just have a form of a banner without the form, just the button.
Yeah, I think it's worth testing and having a play around with that. And even if you pick up a template, you can change certain sections of it to suit you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question. Anybody else I can help?
I've got a question.
Great. Hiya.
Hey, so I'm just getting my scorecard going again. I'd set one up and then it wasn't working straight away. So like I parked it for a while to get some other things done. I'm back on. So this is where I got stuck. The problem I was having last time is I was pushing out through Facebook ads.
Okay.
And getting quite a lot of people clicking on the link, but then not taking the scorecard.
Okay.
And so what I was trying to figure out, and I'm fairly sure that like the ads, it's not like that. The ads were pretty obvious. Like, I'm a mortgage broker. It's about mortgages, save money on your mortgage. So once they click on the link and they go, like, I don't think it's people are going to go, oh, wait a minute, this isn't what I thought it was going to be, because it's pretty clearly. I'm just wondering what some of the things you would look at to be like, why? Because you might either the ads are misleading, or the landing page isn't attractive enough.
Yeah.
Or one of the things, I don't know if this has come up with you before, but the people who were putting the ads together for me said they thought that possibly because it's going straight from a Facebook ad to a different URL, that it might flag for some people as being like not safe or something.
Okay.
But I don't know what I've just launched the ads back out today.
Okay.
Just to see if the same problem's still happening. Because in the meantime, the only thing that's changed in the meantime, sorry for the long question,
That's okay.
is because I was building a new website anyway, this time we've embedded the URL. So on the ad, it will take them to my website, and then the landing page is now on my website, and they'll be clicking from my website, so it might just look better.
Okay. So
did any? I'm hoping maybe you've had the same things come up before.
Yeah, where are the ads mainly being run from?
Facebook.
Because sometimes it's just that, I don't know your target audience. Maybe it's worth trying other sources, such as Google ads, Instagram ads. So it could be that there needs to be a variety of.
Oh, it could be. I guess the thing, and you might not know the answer straight away, but what I couldn't get my head around is I could understand if not many people were clicking on the link, or that they were clicking on the link, getting through a couple of questions, and then just saying, "Nah, this is crap."
Yeah.
But literally, it was getting a lot of clicks on the link, and no one even starting the quiz.
Okay.
It was really weird.
Really weird.
It makes no sense.
Yeah. In that.
I just want to mention, Leigh, I had exactly the same experience as Andrew. I ran my scorecard through a Facebook ad for 2 weeks and got over 150 views, but not one click on the scorecard.
Okay. I think when in situations like this, I would want to look at the landing page initially, and making sure that headline's strong, and that everything in that landing page is looking good. So please feel free to send me the landing pages, and I'll spend some time giving you my thoughts and my comments. So yeah, that would be my first thought, is that I want to look at that. The second thing would be to the actual ad itself. I'd like to have a look at that. And then, thirdly, it would just be maybe it does take a lot of testing. And I myself am not an expert in paid advertising. We do have somebody, and we do have a video actually on our YouTube channel that gives you some best practice tips for paid advertising. But I think, maybe testing, it takes a while sort of to test and to get it right. And I would recommend, going from all the organic methods as well, to try and get that sort of the best way to get your scorecard sort of seen.
Yeah, so look, I'm patient. It's okay. I'm knocking out one by one, but look, at least getting the land, each time I can get one part of it that I'm happy with, well, then I know it's, for example, it's probably not the landing page. So then it's something else, and so on, until eventually it's got to work.
Yeah. Well, feel free, guys, support@scoreapp.com. Send us your links and your ads, and we'll take a look and we'll give you our feedback.
Great, I'll do that.
Great.
Thanks.
Guys, we're over time now, so if anyone does want to go, thank you so much for joining us. I hope it was useful. We want your scorecards to be successful, so please do reach out to us. We offer one-to-one support calls. We've got our help desk, we've got our live chat. So any of those methods, please feel free to get in touch with me. And I'm going to stay around. So if anyone's got any more questions, please feel free to jump in. Lovely. Thank you, guys. Take care, and speak to you soon. Bye.